episode of the Dystopia podcast, where reality is inevitable. I am your host, Sinister. Thank you for joining me this evening. I hope everyone is having a wonderful week, wonderful day, wonderful evening, and I hope everyone is blessed and prosperous as always. I'm rooting for you. Keep at it. Keep doing what you're doing, no matter what the haters and naysayers say. Keep striving for excellence. Today's episode is going to talk about something that is very, very near and dear to me, because I believe it's so counterproductive to the success of human beings. And I feel like that, without this mindset, you can accomplish so much, and you can get rid of those, things that, drag you down like cinder blocks, because there's a lot of things that we have in our mental and in our daily routines that drag us down and prevent us from actually reaching those heights that we actually want to reach. And we can't get to them if we don't get away from some of these blockades. I've talked about a lot of them over the course of this podcast, since it started. But this one right here is really, really, really something that I'm like, hey, this needs to be discussed, needs to be expounded upon, needs to be addressed. And if you relate to any of this, I hope and pray that you actually look in the mirror, take the time to evaluate self and get to know self a little better and try to fix this so that it won't cause damage down the line. And also, if you have lineage, you have children, whatever, you don't want to kind of project this off on them too, because it's also stressful for the kids. So what we're going to talk about today is professional victims. And professional victims are very, very, volatile and very, very toxic, man. And I don't use toxic a lot because I feel like it's an overused terminology, the same way narcissist and misogynistic and all these words that people just like to say and toss around all the time. I don't like to use those words, but there's no other way to describe this mindset without saying toxic. This is a very toxic mindset. Now, by definition, professional victim means a person who makes it their business to appear perpetually offended and victimized. A person who makes it their business to appear perpetually offended and victimized. Now, the question is, the elephant in the room of this situation is, why would somebody want to feel victimized? And why would somebody want to be offended all the time? I have no idea. I'm not a professional victim. I know how to own my shit. I know how to, accept when there's things about me that needs improvement and try to fix those things and do actionable items that will create that change. But let's just go through a few of the whys people would do this. So one reason is because they want people to feel sorry for their shortcomings. How many times have you ran into people that's just like, they're talking about everything that's not right about them, everything that they haven't achieved, everything that, hasn't gone their way. And you're like, damn, I'm like, okay, this person really been through some hell, and sometimes, at first meeting, or getting to know somebody over a course of a short time, you believe their story. Like, you know what, man, this person actually, had a rough go. But then as you get to learn them and you start seeing who they are, you start unraveling them, because the more and more you talk to a person, the more and more you're around a person, you start to unravel who they are. So you start noticing, like, okay, this seems like a pattern. Like, this dude or this lady always got something going on that just ain't to their, benefit. That's because they want you to feel sorry for their shortcomings, because a lot of times their shortcomings don't exist. A lot of times they're the reason for their shortcomings. They won't say that, and they won't be honest about that. They won't bring that to the forefront so you can actually, hold them accountable, be like, maybe you should do this, maybe you should do that. They'll just keep it as like, everything's weighing down on me and I'm a victim. Nobody's helping me. Nobody's there for me. Nobody's this, nobody that. But they'll keep a huge part of that out that says like, well, they're not there for you because you're, very rude, or you're very shrewd, or you're very evil spirited, or you're very nasty to people, and, it could be a different reason. It could be you're not one of those people that like to get up and go. You're lazy, you're always sitting around. You never, trying, you never give full effort, 1,000% effort. Anything without effort, you can't achieve nothing without effort. You can't get nothing without effort. Can't get money without effort. Can't get a woman without effort. You can't get, any type of status without effort. Everything takes effort. You got to get up and go. So some people just don't got no effort, and then they'll just make it their business, say, you know what, something is not right with my life, and I'm just in a bind because I'm just that person. Like, I just always get the weight of the world on my shoulders. It's a front. Don't believe that. Another reason why I believe that, this professional victim thing is a thing is because they want to reap benefits from people by giving sob stories. How many times have you heard somebody with a sob story? Fellas, how many times have you heard a young lady talking about they can't pay their rent, they can't pay this, they can't do this, they can't do that? And a lot of times it's not that they can't do it, it's just they spent their money on something else. Or ladies, how many times have you heard the fellas out here acting like, man, my baby mama crazy, or this going on out here, this going on, my job, saying they picking on me. But they neglect to say that, they're lazy at their job and they're not very good at their job. And that's why they're on their butt about what they got going on. Or, the child's mother that they, say is crazy and she does that. You mistreated her. You treated her bad. You made her feel less than. You yelled at her. You abused on her or whatever. It's a lot of things that go into that. So a lot of times sob stories are just meant to get sympathy and to reap benefits. You know what? I can't do this, man. Can you come help me? Oh, man, I'll be on my way, man. I mean, but how many times can you do that before you're like, okay, wait a minute. This is a grown man. This is a grown woman. They should be able to get up and do their own thing. Now, I'm not judging you, because I'm rooting for you. Like I said, I'm rooting for everybody to succeed, but I'm not going to jump to the rescue and Superman you out of every situation. You got to be able to pick yourself up by the bootstraps and go out there and make it happen, no matter what it is. You know what I'm saying? We all have our things going on, and you can't just expressly expect someone else to just, jump to the rescue. So a lot of times they looking for a benefit from you, some money. Sometimes I can't pay this, I can't pay that. Okay, here you go. Here go a few dollars. Here go a few dollars. And you keep doing it, and it'll turn out you be giving a few dollars every time you get paid, like their damn bill. You know what I'm saying? That might as well be a dependent. That can't happen. You know what I'm saying? So that's another reason I believe why this professional victim is a thing, because you reap benefits from it. Another tactic I believe is the manipulation tactic to get people to treat them different and give passes to the things that they do. How many times have somebody done something that was erroneous, like it was bad, and they's like, well, I did this because of this, my cat died, my mom died, I'm in a real bad situation right now, my mind is on this and I wasn't focused. It's a manipulation tactic to say, you know what, I'm probably just a lackluster human being that just is very incompetent, but I'm gonna use something else to take the attention off the fact that I'm probably lazy, incompetent, not motivated to do anything other than, make an excuse for why I can't do something or why I'm not, great at doing something. And that is a big factor in why people start cutting people off, leaving people alone, and because of that, because nobody wants to be around somebody who always has a reason for not doing what they're supposed to do, so they want you to give them a pass. You know what, don't worry about it, what I'm saying, I'll take care of it, or you know what, I help you with it, or don't worry about it, what I'm saying, girl, I know your baby daddy left you or whatever, what I'm saying, I try to help you out, but like I said, again, just like I go back to my last point, like the sob stories, again, there's reasons, there's rationale behind reasons why people do things, but they'll leave that huge part out of the equation just to get the benefit from you. So yeah, we'll give them passes, like this manipulation tactic I'm talking about. We'll give them passes, and they'll be like, you know what, it's okay, it's this and that and this and that, and then you're doing it genuinely from your heart, and it's just a lie. It's just built off of a tactic to try to, again, feel sorry for their shortcomings, give you a sob story so you can reap a benefit and manipulate the situation so that they'll get a pass for not being, accountable for their role in that situation. So those are the three reasons why I feel like professional victims is a thing. Now, let me explain to you why the victimization mentality is a huge handicap, okay? The number one reason I believe is it prevents accountability of one's erroneous behavior and blaming others. How many times have you met somebody who just completely blames other people for every damn thing that's not right in their life? Yeah, well, my kid's father this, and my baby mom this. And I'm using these baby moms and kid father because I see this victimization, professional victim shit in mother and fatherhood a lot. I even been through it myself. It's disgusting, because what it does is it makes kids feel like they got to pick a side. They got to figure out, who's right, who's wrong. And that's not a compromise they should be in. Own your shit, and realize you wasn't a perfect person. I'm not a perfect person, whatever the case may be. But we ain't supposed to be sitting here trying to, one up the other one, like by giving the best sob story. And I just think this is just, one of the major parts of this whole equation. But even in, like if you're talking about the professional realm, if you at work, you do something wrong, at work, or you doing a lackluster job at work, it's because don't nobody come over here to the meeting, and we don't be together, and we don't collaborate together, and we don't work together. So I feel like that we ain't no team. So that's what make me not want to do my job. The professional victim situation could go way far. Without taking accountability, you can't look in the mirror and say, hey, I messed that up. Or even when they come to you and they say, look, here's the proof right here. You could be on camera. I seen all of this. I seen all this. Man, we seen you crash this car into this, gate, whatever it might be. If my manager didn't call me at the time, I wouldn't have crashed the car into the gate. That is like an example of what a professional victim is. They'll literally blame other people for their erroneous behavior. And that's like terrible, that's just like a child. I have to give children more credit than that. Actually, I'm not even going to say that's a child. Sometimes we use that as an insult. Let's not use the babies to insult the adults. I believe children are very intelligent and very have a very structured mind in a lot of ways, more so than we think and we see. So I'm not even gonna say that's childish. I just say that's just foolishness. It's just foolishness to point the finger at someone else, blame somebody for your bad behavior, and be like, oh yeah, it's all them. It's all them. It's not me. It's all them. That's not appropriate. You know what I'm saying? So another thing is they'll have a hypochondriac-like syndrome.
All doctors to the ER. Code blue, room 305.
Like, the hypochondriac always think they sick. They always like, they go to the doctor, oh my leg, oh my back, oh my this, oh my that. They always think there's something wrong with them. You know what I mean? And that's not exactly what it is. It's just that you have a mental situation going on, and they need to balance why that mental situation exists. So the hypochondriac-like syndrome is like professional victims always think that something is preventing them from, being able to function properly. And it's again, like victim blaming. It's always something else or someone else's fault or something creating or something in the universe stopping them from doing what they're doing. So this could actually stop you from so many different things, thinking that you always a victim in situations. You can go for a job interview, be like, they didn't give me the job because they looked at me and they just thought because I was, because I had a, high top fade, they just thought I was just an old nigga and I couldn't do the job. That might not be the case. It actually might be that you're not qualified for the job, and I know I'm one of those corporate guys that, don't really dig the corporate realm and how they be doing things. But sometimes, everything is not about someone else's fault. Sometimes it's just, hey, this is what it is. This might be a person that's more, suitable for this job, or it might be a situation where you just not a good fit, because you just didn't, communicate properly. Maybe the job is about communication. You didn't communicate well in your interview or something like that. It could be a lot of things, so you just can't walk around thinking that, I didn't get this or something's not happening because it's just they got something against me. It's just me. They just doing something to try to stand against me. That's like a hypochondriac that always believe they sick. Professional victims always think they getting picked on and the world is against them. Okay, another reason why victimization mentality is a handicap. Some people run around thinking that everyone hates them, and it lead them to go into this recluse lifestyle. It's a social lifestyle where they just get into their recluse bag. They get, they pull themselves back from everybody. You can't call them, you can't reach them, you can't see how they doing. It's like, and that's not good either. It's not even healthy for your mental. You're not supposed to just be alone all the time. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care what the internet say. Get to yourself, do your own thing. Yeah, after you've been through some things, you might want to take a little minute to step back, be by yourself. But like we all know, you gotta talk to people, you gotta communicate, you gotta politic. If you want more stuff in life, you're not gonna get it just being recluse, trying to do everything yourself, trying to stay out the way, trying to stay back, trying to stay in the corner, trying to stay in the cut. You can't do that. You're not gonna get anything like that. You gotta fraternize. Unfortunately, that's the world we live in. Because like I said, I'm a loner. I like to do my own thing, but I also know that partnership is everything. To get assets and to get more things, you have to communicate with people. You have to fraternize with people. You have to collaborate with people. That's just how it is. But that's what some professional victims do. They're going to make it like everybody hate me. Even when people telling the truth. This goes back to the comfortable lies thing. That's why some people can't tell people the truth, because you tell them the truth and they're going to be like, you know what? Nah, this person just is really against me. That's what the problem is. This person ain't really looking out for my best interest. They really against me. They really trying to let me know in so many ways that, they, you know, saying they got a green eye for me, and it's not probably that. It's just probably something in your character, something in your way of life that needs correcting. You know, so you can't walk around with that mentality like everyone hates me, so I'm gonna just cut everybody off and get in my corner. Maybe it's some things that you need to look in the mirror and fix yourself. Another potential handicap to this situation is it could block the potential business opportunities by withdrawing too quickly from your pursuit of the endeavors that you're trying to reach. So, for instance, like if you are trying to go for a position, let's just use tech for example. You're trying to get into tech. Tech is a very hard field to get into, and I love tech. I think tech is the bomb. You know, they're doing a lot of layoffs on techs and stuff like that right now. But you know, in tech, you know, it's not an easy road. You got to make sure you got your ducks in a row to get into tech. So, you know, if you just have this victimization mentality, you'll be like, you know what, I've been turned down by all these tech companies because they just don't like me. They just don't want to, let's just use my culture. They don't want a black man to live, or they don't want a brother that might not have all the greatest experience to live. No, it could be that, you know, there's a lot of people applying and there's a high demand for the job, and maybe there's somebody more qualified, or maybe even they just overcooked their grits, you know, so to speak, where they try to get too many people in, and it was like, you know what, some of these people we got to turn down because we can't bring them all aboard. It happens a lot of time in business. It happens a lot of time. So, you know, as a professional victim, you know, it could definitely block your opportunities. You know what I'm saying? Or you might meet with somebody, you know, that if you're an entrepreneur, you meet with somebody who's a business partner, and you know, you don't like their attitude per se. They ain't saying things like the way you want them to say it, or they're not moving the way you want them to move. You know, it's not always you know, rule of thumb where it's like everybody's gonna act a certain kind of way. Everybody's not polite. Everyone's not, you know, sociable. Everyone's not, you know, professional. Some people just talk the way they talk, and I don't judge anybody. I just be like, okay, this is who this person is. As long as you're not being flagrantly disrespectful, I'm cool with it. But some people, as a professional victim, be like, no, he don't talk right, so I could tell that he don't like me. I could tell that he don't want to work with me, and this, that. No, it might just be that person's character. Maybe this person is accepted for whom he is around people, and he just he talks like that, he moves like that. Of course, you can take the, you know, the high road and be like, you know what, I just don't want to work with him because, you know, I just feel like it's gonna be a back and forth. Or you could be like, you know what, this brother has a lot of knowledge, this sister has a lot of knowledge, I can gain something from him, I can learn something from him. So through this ridiculous attitude, I'm still acquire the knowledge that I want, you know. And that's what I do. Like, I try to acquire knowledge from people. I don't have to like you. We ain't got to be best buds. We ain't got to be homies. None of that. You know what I'm saying? I just try to acquire the knowledge I can get from you that's gonna benefit my life. You got something for me, I'm gonna get something from you. As long as you're not, like I said, as long as you're not flagrantly disrespectful, I'm gonna try to collaborate with you, and I'll share knowledge with you too. You know, we can. The reciprocity is a big thing for me, so I share knowledge to you just like you give me knowledge, and we help each other. You know, so it could block a lot of business opportunities if you're too quick to withdraw because of, you know, little things that, you know, make your victimization pop. You know, oh yeah, this person don't like me. This person is, you know, is trying to underestimate me, or, you know, you really just create this false narrative, and it's a huge handicap. So another reason, you know, I feel like it's a handicap is the self-evaluation of a professional victim is non-existent, which leads to a lack of self-awareness and growth. If you are a professional victim, how in the hell can you grow if you don't ever look in the mirror and say, you know what, there's things about me I need to check, there's things about me I need to fix, there's things about me I need to do better. How, just like in relationships, I don't like to talk about relationships a lot, but, you know, in relationships, how in the hell do you think that you're an innocent party in your relationship when the relationship fails? So you thought that in the entire relationship, it don't matter man or woman, you thought in the entire relationship that everything you did was right, you did everything the correct way, nothing you did was bad, nothing you did was offensive to the other person, nothing you did made somebody feel some type of way. So everything you did was right. And then a lot of times, especially women, I don't mean to call y'all out like this, I love y'all to death, but sometimes y'all carry that stuff to, you know, the new guy, and then go fill his head up with a bunch of BS, and, you know, his simp ass to sit there and take it all in and be like, yeah, man, I can't believe he would do you like that. Man, let me tell you something. I'm the type of dude that a woman would hate to sit down and talk to, because I question their ass like the FBI. You gonna tell me exactly why you trying to act like he's the problem and you had no dealings in the situation whatsoever. Happens a lot. Same thing with men. Men do the same thing. They go pillow talking, especially the men with high estrogen. They go pillow talking. Oh yeah, man, this woman, XYZ, she made me feel this way, did that, and she did that. Can you believe she did this on my birthday? But then you have to ask the question, okay, if she did that, that wasn't right, but what did you do? That's the question. That's the big joker right there. What did you do? You have to come to a point. Professional victims never want to hear that question. What did you do? What did you do? They never want to hear that question. You know why? Because in their mind, it don't exist. I didn't do shit. I was great. I was being this amazing person, and I gave this person everything, and I was, I was there for them. And no. You think in your mind you were there for them. It's even just like right now with people that's in relationships now. If you question some of the men and women and ask them if they're legitimately happy in their relationship, I guarantee you about 70%, 80% of them be like, no. And it's like, why? Well, he don't listen to me. She don't listen to me. And if you bring it to the forefront, you're gonna find that there's probably one person in that relationship. Most time is one person in that relationship that is very not accountable for their actions. You know what I mean? It could be man or woman. I'm speaking from a man point of view. I've seen a lot of non-accountable women, and I'm telling you, it's an ugly sight. So I just hope that self-evaluation is like at the forefront. I know, like I said, I know how to check myself. I look in the mirror and I see things and I say things, and I'm like, I probably shouldn't have said that. I get to the crib and I'm like, man, I probably even should have talked about that. I'm very pro-black, but I don't mean no harm to nobody. I just love my culture. And, it might ruffle feathers a certain kind of way. And I don't mean to. I just love my culture. I know what my culture been through, and I just want to see my culture succeed. So it's just like, but sometimes I'm like, maybe I should have took a step back on that. It is what it is. You have to evaluate everything you do, because the best part of you is brought to the forefront when you do that. You can't get no growth whatsoever if you're sitting there trying to be, I got a halo on my head. Nothing I ever did or said was wrong. There's really people out here, and I know some. Trust me, I ain't gonna name drop them, but I know some that walk around and think they got a damn halo on their head, and it's disgusting. Seriously. Okay, so another thing that professional victims do, and that's the very big handicap for them, is that when they presented with the facts, it don't matter what kind of facts you present, whether it's physical or just, the knowledgeable facts. You present them with the facts and it doesn't benefit them in any kind of way, they become defensive and reject logical argument. You know why? Because they don't have anything to counter your argument. That's why, So when you present them with the facts, they have no counter argument, but their logic is going to be, I just need to get louder or make a scene or storm out or do something to try to make it look like that he or she is wrong. I have to be right in this situation. So the way I could do this is I'm losing the argument, since I have no real facts of what's going on. Even presented with the facts, I can't argue the situation. So I'm either going to bring up something from the past, or I'm going to just bring up something that has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Women, y'all know what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, there's a lot of shade right there. But men do it too. When presented with facts, they try to, like, why you acting like that? You know what I'm saying? Why you acting crazy? Y'all don't deal with crazy women. Or it can be, like I said, even at your job, you could talk to a boss or a manager, whoever. You present them with facts. They have no logical counter argument. They upholding some bullshit ass statute that's at the job, and they just, well, it's in black and white right here. You still can't do. But I'm telling you that this right here, this is the facts right here. I got this right here. I've been in a situation like that. Facts on my damn phone to show you exactly what's going on, and I'm still a damn culprit. This is just what you have to deal with when you're dealing with professional victims. For professional victims could be a company, it can be a people, it could be a person, it can be any damn thing. Professional victims, they crawl all over the place like a bunch of damn bed bugs. They're everywhere. So you can't talk to a professional victim and present them with facts, because they're gonna reject your whole situation, because they like, what, I got no counter argument, so I'm just gonna jump defensive. I'm gonna make it into a fight. I'm not gonna say nothing logical. I'm just gonna make it into a fight, and I'm gonna make a scene so that he or she will forget what they was arguing about. And that's trash character. That's a terrible way to treat somebody. And like I said, it's counterproductive to your life. It's counterproductive to growth. It's counterproductive to peace. It's counterproductive to business. It's just ugly all the way around. So another handicap is a false entitlement. You know what I'm saying? It's like they walk around like they're entitled. Like, hey, I'm supposed to get this, or I'm supposed to get that because, I'm a woman, or I'm supposed to get this because I'm this culture, or I'm supposed to get this because, they got to take care of me. I've been here a long time. I'm talking about the professional realm right now. So I'm jumping kind of relationship to professional realm to even just day-to-day life. There's a false entitlement that comes with a professional victim where they believe that they're supposed to get something. Ain't nobody supposed to get nothing. You know what I'm saying? Everything you get and do got to be earned. You got to work your ass off for it. There's nobody out here getting anything for the low. You know what I'm saying? Especially in this inflated ass market, man, it's ridiculous, man. Just a quick story. I went to the store just to get I think I got a tie, I got some shoes, and I think I got some socks with some music notes on it, some real nice music socks. I don't know how the hell that end up $100. Literally. Socks, tie, and some shoes, like dress shoes, you know what I mean? $100. It's an inflated ass situation out here. So ain't this false entitlement, it don't mean nothing. You still gotta pay the piper, so at the end of the day, it don't matter what you feel. Oh, you know what? I'm this well-known person. Let's just take it back to school. I'm this popular person. I shouldn't be able to get in trouble. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know me. The principal know me. I'm a football player, basketball player. Everybody know me. I could ditch class. I could do this. I'm still gonna play in the game. Then when your coach sits your ass on the sideline, you like, no, this ain't right. He shouldn't have done me like this. Well, the false sense of entitlement, because you're a professional victim that think that, hey, I can do what I want to do, you know what I'm saying? And if he do this to me, he hating on me. I'm gonna go home and tell my mama he hating on me. His coach was hating on me, set me on the sideline. He know I'm the best player. No, that's a false sense of entitlement. Your ass was doing wrong. You was cutting class. You're not doing the things you're supposed to do. You still have a status quo you need to maintain. You still have behavior tendencies you have to maintain, rules you have to maintain, regulations you have to follow. So you catch that oak, you know what I'm saying? Until you learn that this ain't the way. If you don't act like that, you know what I mean? So they have that false sense of entitlement. And also another handicap, blame game. It's never their fault. It's always somebody else's fault, like I said, but it's always something else. It ain't even got to be a person. It could be, let's just say like, y'all was working on, trucks, and the oil leaking out the truck or something like that. Where that oil leaking because they ain't gave us the right kind of tools to do this. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think I think we using wolf tools. We should be using, craftsmen, and it's just, it could be anything. They'll find a way to make something not their fault. Instead of saying, you know what, dog, what you did was you didn't grab the right damn tool and you ain't tighten this plug up enough, and that's why the oil is leaking out. It's just asinine. It's draining to have to deal with that type of person. And I'm like, I've dealt with a lot of them over the years, and it's like you get tired of talking to this person over and over, trying to get them to understand everything is not about somebody else. You got to own your shit. That's the biggest thing that a professional victim don't do. They do not own their shit. You know what I mean? It's so frustrating. Another thing is their actions cause the reaction from somebody that was unfavorable, so they run and cry wolf to everybody else. How many of y'all dealt with that? I know I have. Oh, it's he did this, he said that, he did this, he said that. They never talk about the action that caused you to do the things you did. It's just the reaction was heinous or bigger than what they did, or even similar, but because they don't want to catch the flack for what they do and own their shit, like I said, it's your fault. How do you do something to somebody and expect somebody not to react a certain way? It's not your place to tell somebody how to react when you do something that's offensive to them, or when you do something to make them feel bad. Like somebody slap you. You walking down the street, somebody walk up and slap you. You know what I'm saying? You might punch their ass in the face and break their nose, and then they might get a concussion, have to go to the hospital. You just got a slap. Now they concussed and going to the damn hospital. How is this a problem? Like, it's not a problem to me. You reacted off of what you was given. You shouldn't be telling nobody, man, why you punch him like that, man? All he did was slap you. That is ridiculous. No, you lucky he didn't pull out a gun and kill that person. You just can't do things to anybody anyway and then be like, his reaction was too much, so that makes this person a bad person. Or same thing for a woman. Like, a guy do something to a woman, gaslighter, lead her on, say all kind of shit, and then she just block this motherfucker and just disappear on him. Then you like, man, these hoes, man, they ain't nothing, this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? But you kept lying, you kept disappearing, you kept playing games. Like that's how it happens. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a reaction to every action. So you don't have the right to tell somebody how to react when you do something that's offensive to them. But professional victims feel like, I should be able to do this, and you should just be a little bit mad. Huh? You raising your voice too loud for this right here. You raising your voice too loud because I ate your sandwich. You raising your voice too loud because I called you feminine, or whatever it might be. You know, as men, you know, like I said, I'm jumping all around, from the relationship, from the professional realm to the life realm. It's like you can't be in a situation where somebody's just sitting there trying to tell you how you should react. How about you be a more decent motherfucking person?
Give me the facts first.
The reality is nobody is owned by anybody, and nobody has to do what you want them to do. So if you be a decent person, they don't have to react a certain way. It doesn't make sense to try to knock them for how they react to your shitty ways. You know what I mean? But that's professional victims for you. They never take accountability. They're never the problem. It's everybody else, and everything else is the damn problem. It's disgusting. Okay, so another thing that's a handicap, they're labeled as a defamer and a liar. You know what I'm saying? As time going on, when we start unraveling you and looking at your inner core and seeing you from who you really are, we can start to see that you are a liar and a defamer, but you're not real. Doesn't matter how much you play victim and keep on trying to blame someone else and keep saying that everybody else is the problem, everything else is the problem under the sun. At some point, somebody gonna be like, you know what? This person just likes to put people down, talk shit about other people, throw rocks and hide their hands. So this person is a liar. This person is a defamer. This person is a manipulator. You are the master manipulator as a professional victim. You manipulate people's kindness and you use them for resources, like I said earlier in the why aspect of this. You use them for their resources, just like I said, somebody crying wolf about how they can't pay their bills, or they about to get kicked out of their apartment, or this or that. But if you actually look at it from on the surface, they're about to get kicked out of their apartment because they simply want to turn up and have a good time, and they don't want to take on adult responsibilities. So, you know, that's what they do. You know what I'm saying? I can't pay my rent and stuff like that, but, you know, it's him. He trying to overcharge me for the rent and this, that, and the other, and late fees and all that. Well, you should have paid your rent on time. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's still your fault that you're in the position that you're in. So you got to own that. A lot of people don't own that, and they try to act like that something else is the problem. It's not your landlord's fault that you about to get kicked out. It's your fault. You rather turn up and not pay your damn rent. That's your fault. But again, they defame and they lie, and there's so many people, man, I just gotta say this, so many people sit there and believe that bullshit. That's the thing that angers me the most. How can you not see past these professional victims? How can you not look in their eyes and be like, yo, I can tell you are full of shit? And that is a real thing. Like, I'm like, yo, I can see them from a mile away. You know, they defame, they lie. It's just an ugly situation, you know. So another thing, my last point that I want to make, and I feel like this is one of the biggest points, and I feel like this is like, you know, something that really a lot of people need to work on. Being a professional victim, they create haters in their mind. I mean, like, literally, like, like my auntie told me I was fat, so she's just a hater. She don't like that I'm thick. Okay, this goes back to that, you know, comfortable lifestyle, you know, I talked about in the other podcast. It's not that she's hating. You might actually be overweight. You know what I mean? But now you're gonna label her as a hater, and she's a hater in your mind forever. They never get downgraded from that hater. They never take a step back and be like, okay, this is not a hater no more. This is somebody who actually held me accountable. And sometimes they never ever hold themselves accountable to a point where they can, like, you know, grow from that and be like, you know what, it wasn't right for me to call her a hater. You know what I'm saying? But they create haters in everywhere, in the professional realm, in your relationship. Man, my wife is a hater, man. She'll never want to see me go to the club, do this, do that. She might not be a hater. It might be that you come back 3-4 in the morning, you know, smelling like perfume or doing something that ain't right. I'm not saying that's what all brothers do. This ain't no, you know, Derek Jackson situation. I'm just saying people be out here doing some fuck shit. We just got to keep it real as adults. So it's not that, oh, she's a hater, she don't want you to go out. You're on fuck shit, bruh. You know what I'm saying? The same thing with your woman. You know, she, you don't want me to kick it with my friends and stuff like that. He a hater. He don't want me to hang out. He don't want me to have a good time. No, your friends might be whores. Okay, let's keep it real. We have harlots for friends. Some of us, men or women. you know. So your friends might be whorish, and if you're a woman that's engaged or married, you might not should be hanging with those whorish friends. So it ain't that somebody is hating on you, it's just basic respect. You know what I'm saying? But nowadays we know that basic respect is controlling. Oh, somebody's insecure and this and that. It's ridiculous. Everything that causes people to not be able to do what the fuck they want to do is hating and some insecure shit and controlling. That's bullshit. That is a manipulative motherfucker that's a professional victim that want to do what the fuck they want to do and don't want to be told shit. So a chick or a dude that's like that should hit the fucking road. Don't waste your time with a motherfucker like that can never be held accountable and understand that their professional victim ass ways is a fucking handicap. And that's where I'm gonna end this at, because these are the things that I believe is important to know, that this is going to keep your life hard, man. It's going to keep you in a rock and a hard place, like literally, man. You can't live life running around thinking that everybody's against you. Everything is set up against you. You know, there's black people that's professional victims. I want to address that. You know, still talking about the system and all that. We know the system fucked up. We know there's things that has marginalized us over the years. And people know this. People that run the government know this, you know, but a lot of them are our allies. We got to keep it real on that front too. Everybody's not a racist. You understand what I'm saying? But at the same time, brother, sister, whatever's going on there, you still got to try to create something from that. You know what I'm saying? You still got to, like I said, pick yourself up from your bootstraps and try to become something. It doesn't matter what's stacked against you. You have to fight through that. Now, here in Dystopia, I understand that it's going to be booby traps. It's going to be alligator swamps. It's going to be oil spills. It's going to be blockades. It's going to be falling knives and razor blades and acid rain. Everything's going to be on that road to try to stop you from getting where you got to go. And we know this. We've seen it. But you got to still press forward. There's no other way besides going through it. You can't go around it all the time. Sometimes you got to go through it, just like a plane going through turbulence. Sometimes you can't find smooth air on no altitude. You got to muscle through. You know what I'm saying? So that's the reality, man. You know, professional victims are people that's always going to find a way to blame somebody else for their shortcomings, for what they're not, what they haven't achieved, what they can't achieve, their emotional blockades, emotional trauma, this, that. I know even professional victim that's young kids that try to blame their parents for everything. I love my mom and dad, and I make it very clear to them that I appreciate everything y'all have ever done for me. There's never been a time where I've went without. There's never been a time where I've yearned for something and I didn't get it. Even if I did, it probably wasn't even something I need. But everything that I needed, everything that was necessary for me to become the man that I am, to become successful, to get it out the mud like I was doing it, they gave me the damn tools, and I'm appreciative of that. I have no qualms with them at all. I appreciate everything my parents do. But some of these kids are professional victims. You ain't do this for me. You ain't tell me you love me every day. You ain't did this. You ain't did that. Looking for a damn excuse to try to, create propaganda and this narrative that it's your parent fault that you didn't become what you become, or your parent fault that you're blocked off from doing the things you want to do. You decide your own damn future by putting in the damn work, and stop making damn excuses and go out there and grind and get what the hell you want. So all that professional victim shit is played out. It doesn't do nothing for you. It's not going to get you to no places of success. So stop whining about it and go do it, whatever it might be.
The rationale.
Today's rationale, I want to talk about something that happened to me in the grocery store, man. I had aired out some grievances earlier that week or whatever with some loved ones about what I feel about black women and some things that they do that kind of, anger me and make me lose trust in them. Even though I still love them, I still protect them, I still will, fight for them. It's just like, even though you love people, sometimes they can be shrewd and nasty and unkind and mean, and it make you kind of like, throw your hands up, be like, well, you gonna be like that, sister? I'm out. You know what I mean? And we just were talking, and there's some things that had brought to the forefront that wasn't, very favorable or pleasurable, but it's how I felt in my heart, and I'm like, I know I had to get over this and heal from this stuff and try to become a better person and not allow this stuff to dig deep in me like this and make me, turn me into something that I'm not, because even though I'm having those feelings and I was still going through those discrepancies or whatever with that, those thoughts, I still hold doors. I still say, how you doing? I still treat people with courtesy and kindness. I would never treat them nasty. I will always be there for them. But it's just hard when you don't receive that love back. But this sister inside the grocery store changed my perception for life. And I really appreciate her, because it wasn't her. It was God speaking through her. God seen that wherever I was heading with my mentality and in my heart, as it pertains to that subject, it wasn't a good place. And God knew that it was time to put me back into alignment, and boy, did he ever. So I'm in the store, and I'm, I got my cart in the middle of the walkway, and the sister's trying to get by, this black queen, beautiful black queen, trying to get by. And she couldn't quite get by because my cart was blocking the aisle. So I said, I'm sorry, sister, I didn't mean to block the aisle. Let me get that out your way. She said, it's all good. It's no problem. I appreciate that. I said, sometimes I get carried away a little bit when I'm shopping. I didn't realize that was blocking the way. I'm sorry. And she was like, you know what, brother? I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. That simple act of kindness, you don't know how that just touched my heart. Because the sister sometimes is running around here feeling like she's unloved by the brothers. And I love y'all so much, and I have y'all back, and I want y'all to succeed, and I want y'all to do well out here, but I just don't feel the love back sometime. But right there, what you just did for me, you're my angel for the day. That's what she told me. You're my angel for the day. And, I have a nephew that I'm raising, and I try to speak life into him and make him feel, that, and understand that I love him, and that, I'm always love him and stuff like that, and lift him up, But sometimes sisters get tired. We get tired. We be like, yo, where's the man that love us at? Why we not getting treated right? We ask God why. Like, why, God, are you putting me in this situation? But that's sometimes we all go through that. And she was like, just in spite of, please don't stop being kind. Please don't stop loving us. Please keep doing those acts of kindness. And please understand that even though we may snarl at you, or we may treat you mean, or we might, do something that's not pleasurable towards you, what I'm saying? We just dealing with a lot of hurt. We're masking a lot of hurt, and we don't know how to convey it to the world. We don't know how to mask it enough where we can't, project it on people. And sometimes we treat our babies like that. We take it out on our children sometimes. Sometimes we take it out on people at work, or we take it out on people in the public who are unsuspecting and innocent. And it's not fair, and I'm not making an excuse for them, but please don't stop doing what you're doing. I can see God in you. I know you're doing something very well out here. I know you're giving some good words out here. I know you're doing something positive, because you seem like a very good brother. And I can look at you and tell you got a real good heart. And I want to tell you I love you, and I support you, and I want you to continue doing the things you're doing. Now, hear me out when I say this. That woman literally had me on the brink of tears. Not because I'm soft, but the reasoning was because this woman had, in that single conversation right there, absolutely, positively restored my faith in trying to still love on the black woman, and still support her, and still be there for her. My daughters are black, obviously. I'm gonna love my daughters. I'm gonna love my mom. I'm gonna love my aunties, my family members, the black queens that are surrounded around me. But just the general public, she restored my faith in loving y'all again. You know what I mean? And I might have said and done some things over the years that, might have been, kind of off-putting or disrespectful or nasty, and it just wasn't kind. And I want to just say to all black women in general, I love y'all, and I care about y'all deeply, and I'm always here to support y'all and see y'all through any endeavor. You know what I'm saying? I never stop loving y'all. Families fight. I feel like all of you all in my family, sometimes family members fight, brothers and sisters fight, but I will never stop fighting to love y'all. I never stop being kind to y'all. I never stop being kind and courteous and respectful to y'all, because y'all are the mother of the earth. So at the end of the day, I'm thankful that God spoke to this woman through her to let me know that I don't have to walk around with that level of nastiness and blocking, that energy that's inside of me, the loving energy that I have inside of me. And I appreciate that moment. And I just want to say this to all the brothers out there that have been mistreated by the women, done wrong by the women. Like, don't take it out on all the females, man. Don't take it out on all the women, because at the end of the day, what you went through is an isolated incident. Every woman is not like what they say. Stay off the internet. The chicks on TikTok and on Instagram bashing men, those are some miserable fucking women. Okay, every one of them is not like that, and I made that same damn mistake. You know what I'm saying? And it's not that I'm that weak-minded and shallow-minded. I didn't know that they're not like that. It's just like you stop giving a fuck when you're angry. And there's a lot of times in my life where I stopped giving a fuck, and I did some things that I wasn't happy about. But I got to be stronger than that in these days and times. I can't just stop giving a fuck. I got a lot of people watching me that I have to be an example for. I f***ed a lot of shit up, but in the meantime, I'm trying to get a lot of stuff right. You understand what I'm saying? But thank you to that black queen. I don't know who you are. That black queen that I met in that Food for Less at that odd hour of 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night in a grocery store. Thank you for absolutely speaking life into me and bringing me back up as a knight in shining armor for my black sisters. And black sisters, I love y'all. I want y'all to be successful and blessed and understand that you are protected, you are cared for. Peace and love. Thank you for joining me at the Dystopian Podcast, which airs every Saturday at 7 p.m. Please tag a friend, subscribe, share, let someone know. We'll see you next time.
Dystopia.